Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Vern from Usawa Fitness, and I'm about to take a second to talk to you guys about heating up a garage gym like this with space heaters. Now, this is a 2-car garage. I'm here in Chicago. If you haven't seen this channel earlier, back in August, I started building out this gym and I put in some insulation. I put in insulation on the doors, tucked some stuff around in the corners and everything to prepare it for the winter. But I knew it wasn't gonna be enough. So I was gonna add a space heater. I bought a space heater in October, and I bought the Dr. Infrared 1500 watt space heater. And once it started getting cold in here, I plugged it in and got things moving. And what I noticed right away is that it wasn't warm enough to keep this place warm. All it did was keep the area right where it sat warm. And that was a problem for me because I noticed that whenever my friends were here, you know, we'd all be huddling around that mug like we had some marshmallows trying to keep warm and stuff because it was freezing, all right? And it just wouldn't do it. You had to be close to it. It would never heat the entire garage. And that space heater cost $126. It's got over 20,000 reviews. They're almost all 5-star. But here's the thing, I believe that they get that high rating because most people are using that space heater right next to where they sit. You know, it's next to their couch. If they're in the garage, they're working on the bench, sitting there doing, you know, some type of craftsmanship work that they don't have to walk around the way you would if you used it in a gym like we do. Sometimes I'm over here underneath this rack doing some work and I want to be warm there. Other times I'm over there and that fan is blowing and I'm on that assault bike. Other times I may be laying here on the floor doing some ab work or whatever I may be doing in different parts of the gym, and I don't want to have to sit right next to that heater in order to be warm. Now, a lot of garages just like this are on one circuit. So you gotta be careful with how many watts that heater is running. Now that Dr. Infrared is a 1500 watt heater, but I felt like I needed to get a second heater. When I got a second heater, I turned them both on high, that circuit got tripped. The second heater I got was the Pelonis Oil-Filled Radiator, okay? And that was the game changer. That heater cost $51. Now, I don't know if anybody remember being at grandma's or somewhere and they had a radiator. Those things are bomb. Now, when it says oil filled, don't trip. You don't have to like refill the oil or anything. It's just running through there for the lifetime of the heater. But what it did was it wound up heating up the entire room. Now, it does take some time to get that room heated, and I explained the way I use it to get this place heated in the morning before I come out here to start getting it in. But I can't run 3,000 watts on my one circuit. So I would turn that Pelonis heater on 1500, and then I would use the infrared at its lowest setting. It has 3 settings. It has a high setting, a low setting, and it has this in between where you can set your heater at a certain temperature and it'll keep the room at that temperature. So I set it at the very lowest temperature, but then I set the Pelonis at the highest. And what it does, it heats the whole room up. But at what cost? At the cost of a $126 heater that I'm only using 1/3 of its potential. So I wish I had known back in October when I got that I was only gonna be using 500 watts from it, because I could have got like a little $20 heater, let that blow a little bit of air in here, and let the $51 Pelonis heater heat up the whole room, because that's all that's happening here, y'all. I wish that I had got this later because I could have just returned it, but I'm stuck with both of them. So I'm saying that to say, I wouldn't advise anybody to get the infrared heater before they got a radiator if they want to use it in Chicago. Let me tell you what I've been able to do. When it was -7 degrees outside and it was -40 windshield outside, I could still get this garage to 45 degrees. And that's the worst case scenario here in Chicago. And so when it's like, right now, it's not a very cold, it's like 30 degrees outside. And I got it, it's 57 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's 30 degrees outside right now and it's 57 in here, and I'm only running the Pelonis, but it's been running for like 5 hours already. But I've been out here all day. So I'm telling you right now, it is worth it to consider getting one of those first, seeing how it heats up your house or your area, and then look at what you need to add to it. Because like I said, it doesn't blow it around, but somehow or another, it just gradually heats up the room, and it heats up the room really well, y'all, but it takes some time. So here's exactly how I heat this place up. I'll get up a few hours before I think I'm about to come out here and start getting it in. I'll turn on the Pelonis radiator, and I keep that on high, full blast, everything. And then, an hour or so before I'm ready to work out, I'll turn on the Dr. Infrared at the very lowest level so I don't pop these fuses, because I have my lights that I'm using to do my studio work or work out in. I use the same lights, and if I have more than that, the circuit's gonna pop, and it's never gonna stay on. It's gonna pop every time I turn them up. So I can do that, and I can get it nice and warm in here. I'm comfortable, my friend's comfortable. We not sitting around huddling around it like it's a campfire and toes freezing, trying to stand next to it every time we want to be warm. And I could see my people in here, and I noticed them kind of like, drifting over to it all the time. But once I got that Pelonis, we just in here getting it in. If you've seen some of the videos, it's been winter. Y'all know when I started this gym, if you've been following my channel, you can look at the channel, look at all the videos. You see that people are wearing t-shirts, sleeves out, arms out, everything, no shirt. And that's because it's been warm enough in here. Obviously when you start working out, 40 degrees, 50 degrees is always gonna be warm enough. If I don't turn the heaters on and I come out here initially and it's 20 something degrees, it's only about 24, 25 degrees in here. But after a few hours, it goes up into those 30s, 40s. Like I said, it does take some time. Now, if you're comfortable standing right next to your heater, then either one of these heaters is great, because you can go stand next to that $51 radiator and be warm, or you can go stand next to that $130 infrared heater and feel the air a little bit more and be warm, because it actually blows a little bit harder. But those are my thoughts, y'all. I hope this helps you guys out. This is a quick little rant because I feel like I wasted a little money on the channel where I'm trying to ball on a budget. But if you like what you heard today, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please punch that too, and let me know what y'all think about the video in the comments. Love and peace, everybody. Out.